Back.
And there you are. Not
We're
sure
back.
what happened there, but we are not going away so easily on Interiors Academy. So let me introduce you yet again. Jay Grierson, who alongside Martin Hulbert started Martin Hulbert Design in 2010. Together, they have created interiors for a string of hotels and restaurants, including Coworth Park, the Monaco outpost of Nobu, and the Treehouse Suites in Chewton Glen, as well as a number of private houses for very lucky residents out there. Having worked on such a variety of projects, their approach to interiors is always evolving, favoring contemporary lines with soft textures and color. And I will also add, wonderfully escapist. So to start right away, how did Martin Hulbert Design start? If you give us a little personal info. And I hear that you went to drama school. So obviously there was enough drama at drama school. So
there was not enough drama at drama school, no. So, Amelia, thank you very much for that lovely introduction. That was really lovely, thank you. So yes, I started out about 15 years ago now. And initially my intention was, I went to drama school, I was going to be an actor. And I realized quite soon on that I needed to get a proper job. And I knew Martin from a long, long time ago. He's an old family friend. I think I met him when I was about 6 years old. And I knew that he was in the industry. So I got in touch with him. And he very kindly showed me around his studio. He was the design director at a practice. And I then got some work experience there and did that for a week or so. And then they offered me a position there as a junior designer. And I was doing the scanning and I was making the tea and doing all of those things, but at the same time gaining huge experience. And then I was able to sort of work my way up. And then after about 5 years, I decided that I wanted to maybe do my own thing. And I sat down with Martin one day and said, I'd like to set up my own thing. And he said, I'd like to do the same. Would you like to come with me?
Oh.
We set up MHD 10 years ago.
Congratulations.
That's how it all started.
And it's very uplifting to hear that drama is not a proper job, but the interiors industry is.
It's a proper job.
You heard it.
Still has its drama, though.
Yes, exactly. So in your segment of the market, what sets your firm apart? What makes you unique?
A number of things, I think. I mean, Martin and I, we work on everything together. We run all of our projects together. We know them inside out. We have the most fantastic team of people that work with us, and we like to get them involved as much as possible in the creativity when a project starts, because all projects are different, but the majority of them are only a small amount of creativity. Some of them can go on for a number of years. So it's nice to do the fun bit together and get everyone involved. And I think that, that does set us apart. I think we're quite fun. We have a sense of humor. You have to have a sense of humor to work with us. And our clients pick up on that. And I think that does, set us apart. I think that's why people come to us.
And what is your working process when you're creating a room? What sort of things do you think about? What do you ask your clients?
Well, we always have a sort of a good kind of start. We have a sense of place, so that's something that we always try and capture. But the way we tend to work is we have an amazing studio space and we have a layout room. And what we'll do is we'll lay out images and textiles, samples, colors. We'll lay, hundreds of things down on the tables, on the floors, on the walls, you know, a real collection of ideas come together in this room. And a lot of the time we'll invite our clients, once we've got it all together, to come and see, and we'll speak through that whole thought process behind each thing. And then we'll sort of slowly take things off the table and you know, put things on, move things around. A lot of the time it's easier to ask what they don't like than what they do like.
Oh.
And by the end of that process, sorry, say again.
Sorry to interrupt. Tell us more about that approach. What is useful about knowing what they don't, you know, what a client doesn't like in the, you know, at the beginning of a process?
Well, I think it just gives you an instant steer, doesn't it? And it stops you from going too far in the wrong direction. You know, it could be as simple as, I hate green, or something like that, you know, and then that instantly just steers you in the right way. And they may not have thought that they didn't. But actually when you sort of see it in front of you and think, oh no. So it really helps. And by the end of that whole process, we have a clear idea about the next stage. Yeah. A lot of the time it might involve lunch as well. We tend to have lunches in our office. Yeah. And our clients are involved in that, and our team are as well. So
and just the lunch, because it sounds like it may be part of the working process to help the client feel, you know, relaxed and
definitely
and welcomed in your environment.
Absolutely, and I think it then gives them a chance to reflect and to digest. And it's not all forced in one go. You know, it can be a sort of slow, gradual process for them to take things on board. And we have found that approach works very well.
And without naming names, is there an unusual thing that a client told you they didn't like, and you thought, oh, okay, that's quirky? Because obviously, having a successful practice is being able to adapt to, you know, how your clients live and what they like.
Yeah.
And don't anything springs to mind?
There was one client that didn't like birds.
Oh, okay.
And so there couldn't be any birds anywhere, but that was the only thing, and that, you know, fine, so be it. So
yeah. Yeah, I know
something that springs to mind anyway.
There's also, you know, when someone, a practice like yours that works internationally, I imagine that there's cultural things as well where they may or may not like, you know, something. And our relationship with our homes is changing, and the way that we use our homes is changing. How do you see that going? And part two of the question, because you also design hotel projects, how do you see home changing, and then how do you see the way we use hotels changing?
Oh, okay. I think if we start with the homes, I think the open plan idea might not be so popular after the last couple of months. I think a lot of people probably struggled with homeschooling in one corner and working from home in the other corner, and you know, big open spaces that we all desire and we all have implemented over the last few years are brilliant for the social aspect, but actually, you know, we do need that area where we can close off and we can, you know, be quiet and get our heads down. I mean, one thing that we often do in those kind of spaces is actually give that option. So it might just be, instead of just knocking through 2 rooms, we might put large double doors in. So actually it stays open most of the time, but if you need to close it down, you can. That's just one way of doing it. Hotels wise though, I think UK hotels are going to see quite a demand over the coming months. I mean, I hope they do. I think a lot of people obviously are not going to be going overseas, and you know,
so local hotels, whether in the US you go to your local state favorite hotel, or here in the UK you travel within the country.
Yes, exactly. I think that's something that we're going to see, and I think hotels are going to have to be very clever in how they adapt, because people have been cooped up in their homes for the last couple of months, and they're going to be desperate for that feeling of escapism. And I think that's something that a hotel can really offer. And they're going to have to be clever, because they're going to have to stand out. A hotel will need to stand out from the rest of them, and will need to be different and unique, and have a sense of place. I think also, room service offerings and that sort of thing is probably something that we're going to see, maybe expand a bit more. You can't have a busy restaurant anymore, not for the time being anyway. So it'd be good to be able to offer something special in the room service.
So, and enhancing the room service so that it becomes something.
I think so. Yeah.
More worthwhile, since you can't go down to the restaurant. And I guess country hotels where they have more space outside, if the weather permits, allows us to have maybe picnics and
definitely. I think that's a great idea. Picnics and actually sort of offering that private dining experience too. But it could be in a very bizarre spot. But it's just about sort of being a bit more private and being sort of separated from other people, because I think it's quite an anxious thing for people at the moment, and actually to know that that's what's on offer when you get to a hotel, I think would be very beneficial.
But I think from a positive point of view, a big part of going out, some people want to go out because they want to be in a room packed with other people. Other times you actually just want to be with your family, or with with the other person, if you're a couple that you're dining with, and have a fabulous Indian tent in the garden where you're the only two people.
Right.
And everything is brought to you. Sounds quite fabulous.
Absolutely, yeah. And it's about being spoiled, and we all need a bit of that, I think, and that's where hotels can really take a lead and continue offering great service.
And going back to your comment about creating rooms again, that's quite wonderful. I mean, it means that we are also valuing our privacy. Maybe there's too much togetherness when you're not allowed to go out. But I think it's easier also to stay at home if you know that you have a big corner that's yours, or if you can close those double doors and it actually those interiors more functional. And, you obviously are part of a successful practice. How do you see the interiors industry contributing to society longer term?
That's a good question. It's a very good question. I think going back to sort of what we touched on earlier, I think a sense of calm and a sense of security is going to be so important in design over the next coming months. I think a sense of well-being as well, and that goes for being at home, but also in the hotel environment. A home is a safe place, and it's been very much like that for people recently. And I think we need to really explore that more. That feeling of coming home and closing the door and just feeling calm, instantly calm, is very important. I think we've spent a lot of time reflecting in the last few weeks, and I think we're going to be looking out more now rather than looking in, and I think that's something that we need to consider in hotel design. I think we have a need to be indulged now and slightly stimulated as well. We want to, if we're going to go out, we want to really tick all the boxes when we go out, and we want to be stimulated, and that might be through color or artwork or you know, sculptures, or, you know, just really playing with things that way. And that's where hotels, I think, can have a bit of fun. And, you know, really play with people's emotions that way. Yeah.
Do you collaborate with garden designers as part of your?
We have done, yes. We've collaborated with a lot of people. We love to be involved as much as possible. Martin is a fantastic gardener himself, and just loves to be involved in all of that. I've never met an unfriendly gardener. You know, it's always nice to work with gardeners on projects. Definitely, it's always nice.
And thinking to the thinking about the broader world, do you think that government, and it's a question we've been asking this month because we want to start a conversation about the broader role of our industry. Do you think government appreciates our contribution to to our economy and to society in general? And what do you think we could do to have a stronger voice?
That's a very, very good question. I think I don't think government, I don't think people really fully understand what the interior design world does do. I mean, I can't speak for other designers, but what we do is we will always try and work as close to our project as possible. So, for example, we have a lovely project in Wales called Grove of Narberth. It's a lovely boutique hotel, and we have been working with them for a number of years now, and we have tried to use as many local people as possible. And we've hunted them down. It could be from the metalwork to the joinery to the artwork. You know, we've met some wonderful people and engaged with them and have given them business, which is obviously just feeding into the economy. And we go out of our way to work with new people all the time. And you know, we don't just sort of go to the same suppliers over and over again, because it's important, I think, to engage with as many new people as possible, and you know, help them along the way.
And what does, from a practical point of view, what does that bring to the project? What sort of, because I imagine it makes each one different, and
it does, very much so. It means that each project is unique in its own way. It means that it has a wonderful story behind it. You know, it's great for a hotel to use as part of their story, as part of the press, and you know, and it's nice for the guests, the whole guest experience, knowing that everything has come from down the road. It's wonderful, you know, really, really nice.
I mean, it allows you to support new talent.
Yeah.
Also, you're not transporting things when it's not necessarily required, although some.
Absolutely, yeah. Carbon footprint is reduced massively, which is really helpful. Yeah.
And what do you think makes British design unique?
What makes British design unique, or British designers?
Both, actually. You know, and the answers may be different depending on the designer.
I'm not sure really. I think one thing that we do, and again, I can't really comment on other designers, but you know, we can all have brilliant ideas, but I think that the trick is how to deliver them, how we deliver them. We've got to find a way to execute the idea, and I think that's incredibly important. And you know, I think that's something that we do. Yeah.
And looking at your hotel projects, is there a favorite room that want? Actually, I'm going to make a bigger question.
Okay.
eventually, you know, we will all want to be going to hotels. I certainly can't wait to book myself somewhere, you know, relaxing and fabulous.
Yeah.
There's specific rooms at the properties that you've decorated that you would recommend? You know, what's the insider tip?
Insider tip.
Maybe 3 of the properties that you're done. Is it, if you're in Monaco, there's one table that you like, or, you know, if you're in one of your hotels, I just love the blah, blah, blah room because we put so much effort into it and it's quite spectacular.
I think it's very difficult to say, and I wouldn't want to have a favorite.
No.
But I think
that's why I called it a tip, because obviously
we'll call it
you do.
Well, if you want, you know, if you want pure escapism, I would, you know, highly recommend the Grove of Narberth, because, you know, it is a spectacular place to go, and it's just beautifully secluded and peaceful, and the service there is absolutely fantastic. And of course, all the rooms are beautiful and wonderful.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. There's also obviously Coworth Park is another one that we've worked on, and you know, that's very close to London, only 90 minutes away or so. And so again, that would be a very good place to go. And of course, the Grove Hotel in Watford as well.
One of our audience members is saying that the Grove is beautiful.
Okay, good. That might actually be the
just up the road. How a great endorsement. Well, thank you again for your time and for joining us today. We invite people to visit your website as well, so that they can see more of your designs and your projects. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
All of you out there, thank you for joining us on Interiors Academy, and hope to see you soon. Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.